Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mustache MMA. Welcome to episode 12 of Parlay Plays UFC Fight Night, Luque versus Muhammad 2. I'm going to go into the sports books and create a couple different variations of parlays that I like for this card. Those variations of parlays are going to be even money parlays, juicy parlays, long shot parlays. Even money parlays, we throw one unit on. They're anywhere from even money to plus 200. Juicy parlays, we throw a half unit on. They're anywhere from plus 300 to plus 800. Long shot parlays, they're anywhere from plus 1,000 or more. So before we get into the parlays for this card, I'm going to go over the results of the parlays from last week. So let's get into that. UFC 273 recap. So as you can see, overall betting perspective here, best bets and parlay plays. They went 9 of 9, played 14.5 units, returned 19.78 units, netted plus 5.28 units. So pretty solid card, solid start to April. Jumping over to the parlay specific stats here. As you can see, a majority of the profit, actually all of the profit came from the parlays. Parlays went 3 for 3, played 3.5 units like usual, and returned 8.89 units. So positive plus 5.39 units for the parlays for April card, which is great. So let's get into the specific parlays here. Let me zoom out or try to get a good zoom for you guys so you can actually see this. Sweet, perfect. So hopefully you guys can see this. It might be a little small, but these were the parlays that I played. So even money parlays went 2 for 2. Volkanovski, Korean Zombie, fight starts the 4th round. Jan Sterling, fight starts the 4th round, was a winner. Returned 2.16 units. That Volkanovski Korean Zombie one was close, but thankfully the Korean Zombie wanted to get off the stool, wanted to fight. Fight started the 4th and then got knocked out very shortly after. So just barely cashed that one. And then the other even money parlay, Arce Santos, fight goes the distance, and Ladd Pennington, fight goes the distance. That also cashed, returned 2.35 units. Juicy parlays went over 2. Torres decision, Jan decision, both lost. And Hansen sub/decision and Madsen decision got 1 out of 2 there, as Madsen got the decision victory. Longshot parlays went 1 for 2. Big one hit here. But the loser was Malak decision. Gary Weeks, fight goes the distance. Malak got that knockout in the 1st round, but Gary did get the decision victory, so hit 1 out of 2 legs there. And then the ringer plus 1650 parlay here hit. Hernandez decision and Olynyk submission. That returned 4.38 units on a quarter unit bet. That is where essentially all of our profit came from this card. So that was probably my biggest parlay I hit to date. So awesome to finally hit one of these long shot guys. And hoping we can continue that in the future, and maybe even this card that we're going to break down now. So let's do it. All right, so let's start with the even money parlays. So first even money parlays is going to be Nunez and Hughes, fight goes the distance, with Boudet inside the distance. This comes out to plus 129 over on FanDuel. So Nunez and Sam Hughes, fight goes the distance. Both these girls are really durable. They're in the strawweight division. They don't hold too much power in their hands. And both of these girls are mainly strikers. So we shouldn't see any submissions from either of these girls, although I do believe Sam Hughes does have a couple submission victories on her resume and one in the UFC. But essentially, Nunez is going to keep this one on the feet. She should win easily, but Hughes is also a really tough girl. She's not going to go out unless she's super injured. That's was one of her TKO losses was due to a doctor stoppage because her eye was all messed up or something like that. So both these girls are tough. They're in the strawweight division. Not much crazy submission skills from either of them. So I do see this one going the distance a lot more times than not. I like it as a parlay piece here. Second leg, Boudet inside the distance. I like Boudet here a lot. I think Chris Barnett, he just doesn't have cardio, and he's just not that really good overall. I was saying in the other video, I mean, he fought John Vellante, and John Vellante stinks. He's light heavyweight. All he did was just like eat to get up to heavyweight. He had a huge gut, and essentially, John Vellante won the first round against Chris Barnett until Chris Barnett landed that spinning heel kick in the second. Which was, yes, impressive. But again, it didn't even knock him out cold, and it looked like John Vellante just kind of gave up at that point. But anyway, Boudet here, I like him inside the distance. He's got good pressure skills, plotting forward, good clinch work. He can take it to the ground if he wants. And with Chris Barnett, his cardio, especially if like clinch work is involved or grappling is involved, Chris Barnett gasses so hard. I don't think he's going to have much success here against Boudet, against his plotting forward pressure, constantly moving him back, making him move. So I really like Boudet here to get the finish, whether it be KO or submission. So recapping that even money parlay, Nunez Hughes, fight goes the distance. Boudet inside the distance, plus 129 on FanDuel. Moving to our second even money parlay. First leg, close money line and over 1.5. Second leg, Baez money line. So that comes out to plus 149 over on DraftKings. So first leg here, close money line and over 1.5. I like this one a lot. Jakar Close, a huge favorite, and a huge favorite for a reason. Jakar Close was a really good fighter, hasn't fought in a while, been almost 2 years. But he's beaten some pretty good competition in the UFC so far, and only really losing to, I believe he lost twice in the UFC, and one was to Beneil Dariush, who was a top 5. I believe he's ranked top 5 at this point. So not a huge loss there either. And Close did pretty decent in that fight. I mean, he rocked Dariush, but Dariush is tough. Came back and got the win. Reason I like the over 1.5 paired with this. He is fighting Brendan Jenkins. So Brendan Jenkins, although has been finished a couple times in his career, and finished most recently in the UFC to Razan or something like that, blanking on his name. But he is super tough. He's terrible. He can take a beating. He's got a good chin. Something like super crazy has to hit him for him to just go out cold. Or he has a TKO loss in his career earlier. That's a 3rd round flying knee. So that finished him. And then the last time he was finished, his last fight in the UFC, he came in on short notice and essentially got finished in the last 20 seconds of the fight. So dude is terrible. He's tough. He can handle himself on the feet. And essentially his last fight too, he got ragdolled in the wrestling, wasn't able to kind of like composure himself. And Close isn't much of a finisher either. All of his UFC wins have been via decision. But this is probably one of his easier fights to date in terms of UFC competition. But however, Close doesn't have necessarily the power to put him away. If he does, it may be later, because I think Jenkins will be able to endure the onslaught early on. His name's Jenkins, right? Yeah, Brandon Jenkins. For whatever reason, I thought I said his name wrong. Anyway, second leg, Baeza money line. I like Baeza a lot in this spot here. Andre Frilajo coming in on short notice. Andre Frilajo only really being a power guy. He's got some technical striking, but Baeza definitely has the technical striking edge for sure. Baeza also throws heavy leg kicks, and we've seen Frilajo before not check leg kicks. That's going to be a big, big problem if he does not check those leg kicks. It's going to be an easy win for Baeza. However, Baeza, he did get knocked out from throwing leg kicks in his last fight against Chaos Williams. He got countered on it pretty hard, but Chaos Williams, he has the best power in the division, hands down. I don't think Friajo is on the same level of power that Chaos Williams has, although he does have good power. So Baeza, he's got a good chin. He's durable. When he does get clipped before, he is able to recover. Matt Brown kind of knocked him down at one point in his fight with them. but he was able to recover himself and be fine. So he does have a good chin. He's got good technical striking. I think he's got a big edge over Fialho here. He's got a full camp as well, so I really like Baeza in this one. So recapping that even money parlay, close money line and over 1.5 paired with Baeza money line. That comes at the plus 149 over on DraftKings. Moving on to our juicy parlays. So these are half unit plays, anywhere from plus 300 to plus 800. First juicy parlay is Ogden decision and Bronson money line. A little bit of a risky one here for sure, but first leg here, Ogden decision. So I like an Ogden decision play here. I think Jordan Levitt has the better grappling for sure. And I don't see Ogden being able to submit him. And I do see Ogden maybe being able to survive Levitt's grappling attack. Although his history hasn't maybe proven that. He has been submitted 3 times previously in his career. But Ogden, he's got the better striking here. I think he's got the better wrestling. It's just that grappling game that he may not have an edge in. And even so, Ogden still has really good offensive grappling. It's just that defensive grappling is a little bit questionable. So if Ogden comes in here with a good game plan and maybe just wants to keep this one on the feed for all 15 minutes, I think he's going to win easily, but via decision. Jordan Levitt does not have good striking. His wrestling's all right. He's a one-trick pony. He is a really good really good grappler. So if Ogden can implement the striking majority of the time and even incorporate, if he does want to wrestle and does take it to the ground and the grappling, he's just got to play it safe. And I think he can do that. And I think Jordan Levitt is also going to be happy to be on his back, which doesn't look good in the judges' scorecards unless you have like a submission that is close to being locked in, essentially. So I like Ogden here to get the decision nod. Second leg here, Ronson money line. So I like Ronson here over who's he fighting? Rafa Garcia. I like Ronson over Rafa Garcia because I think he just has edges in just about everywhere. So Rafa Garcia, really known for more of his grappling. He has really good grappling, and he has good submission skills. On the feet, decent technicality-wise, but he's got some good power for sure. And then the wrestling is just kind of all right. Ronson, on the other hand, I think he's got the better technical striking. Power is probably pretty comparable to Rafa Garcia. And then his grappling game is also really solid as well. So, yeah, I just like Ronson in this one a lot. I believe we've had the line movement on this one as well. I believe Ronson was a dog for a little bit. Now it's come to a pick'em. So that is also in our favor. But I like Ronson to squeak out probably a decision win here. But give me the money line just in case. Because Rafa Garcia is pretty durable. He's never been finished in his career so far. But Ronson does have a lot of finishes on his career, so it could happen. So yeah, recapping that juicy parlay, Ogden decision, Ronson money line, plus 587 over on FanDuel. Second juicy parlay, we got Sabatini inside the distance and Bueno Silva inside the distance, plus 483 over on DraftKings. So Sabatini inside the distance here. I was a little conflicted on what I wanted to do with the Sabatini fight, but I ended up landing on the inside the distance play, and I think it's the right play. And sorry, I keep having to flip the page to see who these guys are fighting because I have crazy brain fog right now. Pat Sabatini fighting TJ Laramie. Laramie is a really good wrestler, for sure, and he's fought good grapplers before, but he hasn't fought the high-level grappling that Pat Sabatini has. On top of that, Pat Sabatini has good wrestling as well. So TJ Laramie hasn't necessarily faced a fighter that has both of those things. So I think that's going to play a big factor here. So maybe Laramie does get takedowns, but Sabatini's going to work off his back. He's going to throw up submissions. It's going to be trouble for him. He's going to make Laramie think. He's going to make him work. He's going to make him play it safe. He's going to be able to maybe perform some sweeps or throw submissions off his back. That's if Laramie can even get to the ground, because Sabatini has good wrestling. Sabatini could take it to the ground himself. Sabatini's pretty good on the feet as well. They're probably pretty comparable in the striking game, I would say. But Sabatini, I mean, I think he eventually takes this one to the ground. He gets to a dominant position, and either he gets that ground and pound TKO or sinks in some kind of submission. So I do like Sabatini here inside the distance. Second leg, Bueno Silva inside the distance. Bueno Silva here, I like her over Wahan Yu, I believe. Flipping the page again. Yeah, pretty close. Yanan Wu. I don't know what I said before, but close enough. Yeah, I mean, she's not really that great of a fighter. All of her wins have been from like very, very bad competition. They've all had maybe just one career fight. And then I think she might have one win in the UFC over like Lauren Mueller or something like that. But anyway, she's not really that solid in my opinion. She has shown a little bit of durability, but even the fighters in the UFC she's fought haven't been that great. Now, Bueno Silva is a pretty solid fighter in this division. I think she's got really good power on the feet, although she doesn't have too many knockout victories. Most of them come via submission. She does seem that she packs a punch in her punches. She throws with power. The technicality may not necessarily be there, but the power shots are there 100%. On top of that, she has really good grappling skills, and she has a lot of submissions on her resume, like I said before. And her opponent, Yanan Wu, she has shown that she can put herself in bad positions in fights in terms of the grappling game. So if she engages in that, it could be trouble. Bueno Silva could easily snatch something up. So I really like Bueno Silva here to win, and I like her to get it done inside the distance. So recapping that Juicy Parlay, Sabatini inside the distance, Bueno Silva inside the distance, plus 483 over on DraftKings. Moving on to our Longshot Parlays. These are quarter unit plays, but they are plus 1,000 or more. So first parlay here, I got Clark decision, Luque decision, plus 1,052 over on FanDuel. So first leg here, Devin Clark, brain fog is going crazy. Yeah, Devin Clark here against William Knight. Clark via decision. I like Devin Clark here to get the nod. I just don't think William Knight is all that good, honestly. He's just a big ball of muscle, essentially. He's shown somewhat of a wrestling game recently, but he hasn't shown that he can necessarily control people and hold them down. He more of just kind of picks them up and tosses them down, which makes sense because he's really strong. He's able to do that. But his striking game is all right, William Knight. It's nothing special, but he does have good power for sure. He can knock you out in one punch if it lands perfectly. The problem with Clark, though, is he's super durable. He's super tough. He's hard to put away. So he really has to hit the perfect shot in order to get Clark out of there. I don't think he's going to. Clark has pretty decent striking defense to be able to avoid those shots. Clark has good wrestling to engage with William Knight. I think he's going to use that to his advantage a lot here. Clark also has pretty decent striking on the feet. So I just like Clark here overall in general in all areas. And I just think he's going to have success over William Knight, who's also coming in here on short notice. He's going to have to cut a lot of weight on short notice. We'll see if he does cut the weight this time. Last time he didn't cut the weight, and it ended up being a heavyweight fight. But yeah, I like Clark in this one to get it done via decision because William Knight is also super, super tough, super durable to put away, super hard to put away. Only being finished once in his career, and that was to Tafan Nuchukwi who has crazy knockout power. Clark doesn't have that kind of power, but he does have good, decent technical striking. I think he'll be able to kind of piece up William Knight pretty good, and also mixing that wrestling as well. Second leg, we got Luque by decision. Yeah, this one was tough. I mean, but I ended up falling on the Luque decision prop. I mean, I think this is going to be a lot different from the first fight. So Luque in the first fight, Bilal Muhammad got knocked out in the first round. But Bilal Muhammad, that was his only blemish on his whole resume. Bilal Muhammad has never been finished in his career besides against Luque. Now, Luque has a ton of finishes on his career. I believe he has 14 wins in the UFC, and I think like 12 of those wins have been by finish. So a very high finishing rate in the UFC. But Bilal Muhammad is super tough, super durable. He's got great cardio. He's got great fight IQ. He knows exactly what to do in every situation. I think Luque is going to win pretty dominantly in the early rounds, and then even probably more contested fight in the third and the fourth, and then the fifth maybe Bilal Muhammad takes because his cardio is just there. Luque has good cardio as well, don't get me wrong, but Bilal Muhammad has cardio like that's out of this world essentially. That's like his one main huge edge over every fighter that he has. And Luque, I think he has an edge everywhere in terms of, skills, the technical striking, the power in the striking game, the wrestling game, and the grappling game. Maybe the wrestling game is really close. Maybe Bilal Muhammad has slightly better wrestling. But at the same time, even if Bilal Muhammad gets takedowns, I don't think he's been able to control Luque that great. Luque does have a pretty good get-up game. He has good takedown defense, too. And he also has a grappling game, too, so he can work off his back a little bit. And Bilal Muhammad will have to think a little bit more instead of just hold him down like Wonder Boy. So, yeah, I think Bilal Muhammad is going to, he's got the heart to stay in there and take the shots. He's going to play it safe. He's going to do the perfect game plan like he always does, but it's not going to work out for him this time. So, yeah, I like Luque here via decision. So, recapping that long shot parlay, Clark via decision, Luque via decision, plus 1,052 over on FanDuel. And our last long shot parlay and parlay of the card, we got Kroom via decision and Boralho via decision. This comes out to plus 1,868 over on FanDuel. This is a nice big one here, and I like this one a lot. So first leg here we'll break down is Kroom via decision. So I like Kroom in the spot here. Reason being, Kroom puts on a high pace, high pressure. He's going against Helia Altang. Didn't pronounce it right, but fuck it. And his opponent doesn't necessarily, Al-Hatang doesn't really have high pace, high pressure. He kind of has a low volume output. Kroom has a high volume. He's going to be throwing a lot. He's going to be putting on the pace, putting on the pressure. He's going for takedowns. He's striking consistently, and he's going to overwhelm Al-Hatang here. But Al-Hatang is super tough. He's durable. He's hard to put away. Kroom doesn't necessarily have power in his hands. He does have some grappling skills, but I think the wrestling is going to be fairly even here because Al-Hatang does have pretty good wrestling. But I see Kroom just putting on a crazy high pace, winning the first round easily, and then winning the second as well, and then maybe the third round's close. That high pace, high pressure that Kroom's going to put on here is just going to really overwhelm Al-Hatang. He's not going to be able to handle it, and Kroom's going to get nod via the decision. It's going to look good in the judges' eyes because he's putting on so much volume, putting on such a pace, and Al-Hatang is not going to be able to keep up with that or make it look good, make his case for a decision victory. Second leg of this parlay, Boralho via decision, going up against Gadzi Omagarziev, something like that. Kai Boralho here, I like him this spot for a couple of reasons here. So I think he has pretty good grappling, that he's going to be able to counteract the grappling skills of Gadzi, whatever the hell his name is. He went and fought Jailton Almeida and went to a decision in a grappling match against him. That's pretty impressive because Jailton Almeida has very good grappling, in my opinion. Barallo also, he has good takedown defense. He has that karate stance with good movement and maintains distance well. And he has an 8-inch reach advantage. So it is going to be tough for his opponent, who has high-level wrestling and good grappling, to get him to the ground. And I think Barallo is going to have good success in keeping it on the feet for a majority of the fight. If he does get down, I think he'll be able to survive and maybe get back to the feet somewhat quickly. And he has the striking advantage for sure here. Omar Graziev, he's tough, he's durable, he's got a good chin, and Barallo doesn't have necessarily crazy power, so I don't think you'll be able to put him away on the feet. I think you'll more chip him up on the feet. So yeah, all those reasons, I like Barallo to get the decision nod here. I like him to keep it on the feet and piece Omar Graziev up all day. So recapping that long shot parlay: Kroom via decision, Barallo via decision, plus 1,868 over on FanDuel. Those are all my parlays for the card. If you guys have not checked out my straight bets, I have my best bets video that is already posted. Go ahead and check that out. That is on my YouTube channel as well, and will also be on Steady Picks Radio. Shout out to the viewers on Steady Picks Radio. Appreciate you guys listening, and shout out to SteadyPicks.com. Sign up for free for a free betting consultation website. They give you free picks on just about every sport from the Steady Picks system and all Steady Picks contributors. That's Tom, that's Donnie, that's Ricky, that's even UFC welterweight Sean Brady, ranked and undefeated. Dude knows his shit. Check out their website. All you do is sign up for free with an email. That's all I got for this week, guys. Excited for this card. Yep. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.